Hey gang, today, by request from family, we're going to do Crazy Little Thing. We're going to do a solo that's very similar to Crazy Little Thing called Love, and we'll do some of the fills as well. This is from a 1979 Queen album, The Game, I think. A little bit of a throwback to rockabilly. So I'm playing clean, and I'm just putting a little bit of echo on it. That's it. All right, so let's start it out. So I'm going to play it very slowly first, and the whole solo, and then we'll break it down, okay? So here we go. Here's the whole thing slowly. That, my friends, is it. So, like many Brian May solos, this one's basically based on chords, and so we'll break it down by the licks in the chords, okay? So the first thing, so let's think about the first thing. There's this opening salvo, like, all right? It's pretty simple, and it basically comes after this chord sequence. There's a little break, and then he plays this. Sets up the solo. So for that, he's just sliding from the 8th, 1st and 2nd strings. He's playing a double stop and sliding up to the 10th, which is a D. So notice those three chords are B flat, C, and D. So he's sliding up to that D to start out. Okay? So there's a break. He's sliding up to the D, like so. Okay? Little six little strokes. All right, here's the second one. All right, let's break that one down, but it won't be that tough because it's based on the B flat chord that starts that little solo section. So that the solo section after the break, after that little break, it goes like this, which is a B flat. Then a D. Back to B flat. Now E. Okay. Basically, it's an E to an A. And then they hit this funky chord where they're doing. Okay. We won't do that part, but we'll talk about the solo. So the first part is that B flat, and that's what that whole thing is based on right here. Okay, so here's the chord that you're going to play it around. So the chord that we're playing it around is this. It's a B flat right here, B flat triad, based on the 10th, on the 1st and 2nd and 3rd strings, 10, 11, and 10. And the key around, or the scale around that is this right here. It's the C in the cage system, if you're hip to that. All right, so here's what that little lick is. It's taking the 13th, bending up a whole step, and then we'll bring it down and go back, trade off between the 11th. Watch how this goes. That last little bit is playing the 13th again, whole step up, and then hitting the 13th on the 1st string, like so. Okay? That was the B chord. Now we'll go back to the D chord. That lick is like this. You get to pretend you're Chuck Berry and just play this little thing based on the D. This D that's in the 10th position right here. So here's the D triad that we're working. All right. So that one starts out same as you did in the opening salvo. You're going to slide from the 8th to the 10th, like so. Okay. So that one, 8th to the 10th, double stop, and then we'll play, excuse me, we'll play 12th, 12th, 10th. This is on the second string. We'll play 12th, 10th, and 11th on the third string, and then we'll play this little lick. Very common lick in rockabilly. So we're going to bar on the first three strings, on strings 3, 2, 1, and we'll play on the third, we'll play the 10th and hammer on to the 11th. Then on the second, we'll play the 10th and hammer on to the 12th. And then we'll play the 12th on the first. Like so. Then we'll put it all together. I'm stroking the top two strings on that last instead of just playing the 10th. Okay? All right. So again, it goes like this. All right. Then it goes back to B flat. So guess what we do here? Yeah, very similar lick. Very similar lick to what we did before. So the only difference is instead of playing this, instead of playing just that, we're going to play bending up on the 13th and then hitting the 13th on the first string every time. That's it. Very similar to the first one. All right, now here's the weird part. Okay. So it's basically E, A, and then just an F note, and that's when it's up, and it goes dead, and he finishes it up. So we'll play that part right here, okay? So over that, we're going to be playing basically over an A or E chord. We'll start with the E, and guess what? Just like we slid up to the D, we're going to slide up to the E, but we're going to use our third finger. All right, so we'll slide up from the 10-10 on the first two. We'll slide up to the 12-12 on the first two strings. So, and then on the first we'll play 10-12. Okay, then on the second we'll play the 12th, but we'll bend it up. Let's play that whole lick so you get it. Okay, so that lick is 10 to the 12, like we did before. Then 10-12 on the first. On the second, we'll bend up that 12th and pull it down and then pull it off to the 10th. Then on the third string, we'll play 11th and 9th. One more time. And you'll see that that's over an A chord. Instead of the B flat, we're playing over an A chord. Right? Okay. So, one more time. And here's the last part. So that's just 10th, 10th, and then you do that same sort of bend up on the 12th and bring it down to the 10th and play it twice to make it extra nice. All right, and that's it. One more time. Here it is slowly. Okay. All right. Now, just to let you know, the other parts of the song, the main part of the song is basically playing a D, G, C, G, and back to D. And that really works well by playing licks that are on sort of a D blues scale. Right, that kind of stuff. It works really well for those fills. So that fill works really well, and he does that a lot. Here's another fill that works really well. Try this one. So it's in the D blues scale, or something very similar to the D blues scale. You can play a Dorian, but in any case, you're going to play 13th and 12th on the first and second strings, and then bend up the 12th slightly. That's a cool little sound, and that works too really well for a fill. All right, and I'm going to show you one monster fill that he used. That I'm not sure that it's exactly what he used, because he was pretty good, and I'm not sure what I got it exactly, but it's cool anyway. All right, so he plays that, or something similar to that. Sounds really nice when it's fast. So let's break that one down. So that one is basically in this D Dorian / blues scale lick, and it's basically this. We're going to play the D, or I'm sorry, we're going to play the 13th, and then we're going to play the 12th, pull off to the 10th, and then play the 13th and back up to the 10th. Okay? All right, so 13th, pull off to the 10th, then the 13th on the second, 10th on the first, 13 on the second. Now here's the cool part. So for that one, play the 12th, pull off to the 10th, play the 11th, pull off to the 10th, and then play 13th on the 3rd, and play that little turnaround. So 13th, 12th, 13th, 12th, 10th, 12th, and then 12th on the 4th, like so. One more time, slowly. Very cool, and up to speed. Oops, yeah, right. Very neat little lick. All right, so that's it. Classic little rockabilly-ish solo. Hope you enjoyed it. See you down the road.